Wolfchase Tailgate Insider of the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside April Jauregui, fresh off the road from one of the longer road trips of the season in New Orleans against Tulane, and then the long part of that trip at UTEP. And Coach, you come away with a split, which isn't bad. They always say if you can split those road games and come back and take care of business at home, you'll come out with a pretty good season. Yeah,
and the way I think we need to approach every weekend is that you're 0-0. You know, you have 2 matches coming up in that weekend, and you want to at least be 1-1, hopefully 2-0. So I'm glad with that performance, and that is a tough road trip. No discredit to UTEP. I think they're a good team this year, but it is hard to go from sea level up to 7,000 feet, and some of the girls gasping for air a little bit. But we still came out and we played well. Just UTEP played a little bit better than we did.
Let's go back to the first match Friday night at Tulane against the Green Wave, a 3-1 win. It was a match in which you got up the first 2 sets. They come back win the third set. They made it close. They tried to rally, but you're able to hold off Tulane.
Yeah, and they've had some lineup struggles this year, and that part kind of hurts them because they are actually a good team and they have some really good players. And they came back and they fought, and there's no one in this league that's just going to roll over and die and give it to you. But I was proud of our girls because we were down in the 4th set and we came back, and won that and had some big swings by Altrice there at the end of the game to put it away for us, which was really exciting. And Tulane has a tough gym to play in. They're redoing their arena. So they're playing in a rec center gym, and they get a good crowd, so it's loud in there, and the lines are kind of different. And I mean, we missed a ridiculous amount of serves. I just chalk it up to the gym we were in because we haven't done that all year. And then we came out at UTEP and did fine.
I know you were probably really proud to see your team hold off Tulane on Friday because when you're at home, a home team rallying really has a lot of momentum. If they take that 4th set, then you play that short 5th set, and boy, you're really at a disadvantage if you're the road team.
Yeah, anything can happen when you go to Game 5. So we definitely didn't want to put ourselves in that position. We called a timeout at a critical point in the game, and I think that really helped us just regain our focus. And we came out and scored, I think, almost 4 or 5 straight points. Lauren Hawkins went to the end line and served up some great balls, and we put the game away.
Jaden Louie had a nice weekend at Tulane in particular with all those assists. I think she got upwards of 50 assists.
Yeah, her first 50 assist match this year, and she really is coming along. I mean, as a freshman, you need time to develop. It's hard for any freshman to come in and be a starter right away, and we're really starting to see now, her take those steps forward, which is exciting. We're going to continue to work this week, but she's a great kid and has been working hard, and I was glad to see that she got that accolade this weekend.
Then you make the long part of this road trip out to El Paso to face UTEP, a 3-1 loss, and then you, again, as you talked about earlier, it's a different environment. It's the elevation, the oxygen's not there, kind of gasping for breath, and always even if you're not going to that extreme, second match on a road trip is always the tougher one.
Well, and I think as well that, UTEP's a good team. They got 2 players of the week this week. They have an outside that's really good, and one of their middles plays all the way around, which you don't see that in volleyball anymore. Fantastic player. And they get a really good crowd out. Honestly, it's some things that I even asked their coaches, what are some of the stuff you guys do? Because it's impressive, when they get so many kids out at the game. And it was a great environment. In that 3rd set, we battled back, and we were up, and then UTEP came roaring back, and we called a timeout at 24-23 and scored, and we won that set 26-24. And the environment was just ridiculous. I think I told our girls, this is why you play. You left everything out there on the floor. They were just better than you tonight. And, maybe we'll get another chance to face them if we keep doing what we should at the conference tournament.
You mentioned the conference tournament. Before we touch on UAB, just 2 weeks into Conference USA action, and you said before the show, you're about where you thought you'd be, kind of in the middle of the pack, where these next 2 to 3, 4 weeks are going to kind of determine if you're going to be in the conference tournament. Got to take care of business over the next month. Exactly.
The only thing I'm disappointed in so far with conference play is the Houston match, where I think we had a golden opportunity to pick up that win. Houston went, 5 with Tulsa, who's the #1 team in the conference, and then they beat SMU in 3. I knew they were a good team, and we got them at, a good point early in the season. But, we can't dwell on that. The next 3 weeks are all teams that we're right in the mix with. There's really sort of 4 teams right now that are at the top of the conference, and then really it's everybody else. So it's who's going to push in these next few weeks, how prepared you're going to be, how rested as well. We have to take that in consideration. try to ward off sickness and injuries. Once you hit October, you can get burdened down with some of those things too. But we're going to go back in the gym today and discuss some of those things with the girls, and these next 6 matches are going to be huge.
Well, you start off with UAB. It's your home and home weekend, so you'll have UAB here Friday night, then you'll travel down to Birmingham for the Sunday match. So tell us about the Blazers.
Right. I really don't like the back-to-back, but with the way they set up the schedule, it makes it hard to try to play a midweek with a 4-hour drive. But I've only watched a little bit of video on UAB, and then of course they're our travel partners, so I get to see how they're faring up against other teams in the conference, and they seem a little up and down. They're pushing some of the good teams to 4 or 5 sets. But I'm excited for the matchup and that we get to play them home first.
All right, well, Coach, best of luck this weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay, thanks.
That is April Jauregui, and I'm Jeff Brightwell for the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.